Good morning and welcome to Cincy Lifestyle. Boy, are we glad you joined us on this morning. It's a Thursday and we are looking forward to the weekend, right, Mona?
That's absolutely right, Clyde. I can't wait till the weekend. You know what? I'm going to be eating some good food. None that I cook, but some that I buy in takeout. Yes, I'm going to be taking out some good food this weekend.
Well, actually, in a few minutes, we're going to talk about the fact that quite likely you might be able to go to a restaurant and sit down and eat with some changes because of all the coronavirus stuff. But, you know, there's never a time when we should not find the humor in the coronavirus situation. And as you know, we completely and continually scour for those funny moments. And we found one, Mona, from a lady who wrote the following. She says, I made the mistake of telling my husband an early symptom of COVID is loss of smell. He's taken to passing gas in my vicinity, and then when I react, informing me that he is helpfully performing a health check. Then she writes, he taught the children the technique. And finally she says, I may divorce him. You know, some folks in our Cincy Lifestyle office do health checks just to make sure everybody's okay too.
Well, I hope everybody is okay there at the studio.
So far, so good. Hey, but you know, we were talking earlier about how we're just taking tentative steps towards reopening, and restaurants are, I believe, as of May 15th, which I think is tomorrow, going to be opening their outdoor food service, bars and patios, outdoor with the appropriate social distancing. So that's a good something to look forward to.
It really is. You know, I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to take my time going back. I'm going to still do takeout and support our local restaurants. But I think I'm going to give it some time just to see. You know, I'm getting upwards of that age. That should be extra cautious.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I think a lot of us will be working that caution.
Absolutely. Well, Clyde, I've got a feel-good story for you. The new owner of Dunlap CAFE, thank you very much, Dunlap CAFE in Over the Rhine, bought the restaurant just in January. But nothing was going to stop her from success. So she came up with the idea of adult Happy Meal boxes, and boy, has she been busy. Allie Martin went to go check it out.
We're talking adult Happy Meals today at Dunlap CAFE, and word on the street, this is one of the best burgers in town.
I'm gonna say yeah. Our little dive bar. Get in here. Get in.
Let's do a little unboxing.
So, since this is an adult Happy Meal, it has a beer. And then, so we just pop the beer in there and it works out well, keeps it cold.
Is it a beer of your choice?
It is. So there's multiple levels. We partnered with a lot of local...
Let's part the boxes.
Part the boxes.
Part the seed.
Yeah, we partnered with a lot of local breweries because they're struggling as well. So I thought, what a great idea. This is going to pair people with a local brewery that they can get our burgers, and this would give them some help too. So
now, there also in here are chicken tenders.
Chicken tenders are an option.
Chicken tenders are one option, and you get a sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce
Very
with
important.
it.
Yes.
And then, the infamous burger. Talk about the feedback of people so far.
You know, it's been very overwhelming.
Yeah.
You know, I just didn't think it was going to be such a big hit. I mean, I knew it was a big deal, but this is good. Yeah. What do you think? Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, this is a dive bar burger.
That is a
meat.
fresh burger.
Yeah. We do simple real well.
Yeah.
You know, we
don't need overcomplicated.
Yeah. We have burgers of the week, and that's the ones that get like a little crazy. Like this one we did a Cinco de Mayo kind of burger.
But this is a good sized patty.
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting a good patty in here.
Yes.
But what does the future of Dunlap look like? Because you said you had just purchased this in January. You're thrown into the fire.
Yeah.
You're coming up with a creative idea.
Yeah.
And you hit the ground running. Well received.
Yeah.
Do these stay around? And what's the next step?
Yeah. I think they do. I think they do. I mean, this was, let's see if this can increase business. Let's see if this can bring people in who don't. The biggest thing was this was a little neighborhood secret. This has been around like Civil War times. And every time somebody new comes in, I try to make an instant connection with them. Oh, where'd you hear about us? Oh, where are you from? That's great. When we reopen, come back in.
Because you don't seem like a people person at all to ask those types of questions. So I don't know how you guys like pulling teeth over here.
And I really try to make it a personal interaction that they're going to remember. I 100% try to remember everybody's names, and I think that those interactions are going to be what brings people back. And we get such a cross section of people. We have guys that are in their fifth third business suits with their fifth third lapel pins. Sitting at the bar eating their bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich next to the guy that is working on the FC stadium. In his muddy boots and highlighter yellow shirt, and but everybody's happy.
And if they're getting a good meal at the end of the day, that's really what it's about, and that's a staple to you guys.
Yeah, I think food brings people together. Yeah. I think beer brings people together too. But and we have
and a good Arnold Palmer.
And a good Arnold Palmer. And I just think everybody really, you walk in the door, it feels like home. Feels very relaxed, and you're going to have a good time. And that's what we want to keep going with.
Well, I'm definitely having a good time today. So, Rachel, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and Allie is with us now along with Mona. Allie, that story was everything you loved. Adult beverages and food.
And to go, you can take it with you to go. Oh, Rachel, shout out to Rachel. I give her so much props because, as I said, she had bought the bar in January. So interesting time to do so, but she has kind of a marketing PR background, and she just hit the ground running and has been so positive and optimistic about it all, and came up with this creative idea, and people are just really gravitating towards it. And not to mention the burgers are awesome, and I need to go back for the brunch options. They have a mean hangover burger. Rumor has it.
And why exactly would that appeal to you, Allie?
Clyde, you throw in a mimosa to go. I'm a happy camper. I feel like everyone's got to check it out. And the place is so cool too, because I don't know if you saw the image of all the beer cans on the wall. They like to collect some of those older craft beers, the cans. So if you have any, feel free to bring them in. They have that little Henry statue in the corner that was from the circus from the 40s or 50s. So it's just a really cool hole in the wall place. And if you're not looking for it, you're gonna miss it. So I'd say check them out on Facebook at Dunlap CAFE. Their hours and everything are up there, or just go online. The full menu's there too.
All right. Okay, Allie, well, thank you. We appreciate you sharing that with us.
It looked delicious, too.
Yeah, it did. Absolutely. Hey, these days, no politician in his or her right mind would ever ignore women voters. Remember the intense competition to earn the vote of the so-called soccer mom? But it hasn't always been that way. Women at one point had to work hard to gain recognition of their right to vote. How all that unfolded locally, well, that's a Cincinnati curiosity. Women earned the right to vote just 100 years ago, and in a long fight for equality and justice, Cincinnati women made sure their voices were heard. Although remarkably mild-mannered compared to their counterparts elsewhere, Queen City feminists sure upset Cincinnati men. Cincinnati's suffragettes, or as they preferred, suffragists, proudly called themselves Lucy Stoners. Many local women may have actually met the famous advocate for women's rights because Lucy Stone lived in Cincinnati for many years and organized one of the first national women's rights conventions here in 1855. Cincinnati's very active suffragists included such doyens of the social register as Sarah Drucker, Susan Fitzgerald, Dora Eastern, Marguerite Molitor, Mary Yeager, and Laura Proctor. Some were professionals. Nellie Robinson was a lawyer. Clara Bruce, Sarah Sewers, Margaret Bigelow, and Ida Rickett Snell were doctors. Over the years, Cincinnati hosted some controversial British suffrage leaders who espoused or condoned violent tactics, including Emmeline Parkhurst and Bettina Borman Wells, even though Cincinnati women uniformly renounced violence. Much of the work in Cincinnati involved public speaking to large male crowds because change required a vote and only men could vote. Cincinnati men found the prospect of women at the polls terrifying. Justice of the Peace John Marshall Smeads summed up the attitude of many Cincinnati men, quote, "It would be the greatest calamity that could happen to allow the women to vote." Well, not all Cincinnati women wanted to vote. Some thought voting was undignified. Some men believed that women wanted the vote only to support prohibition. Saloon owners in particular opposed the vote for women. The first major showdown on the issue came in 1912. Ohio's male voters were asked to decide a proposed amendment that would have given women the right to vote. The initiative was defeated. A similar measure went down to even bigger defeat in 1914. It convinced Ohio voters to extend the vote to women for state and local contests. Suddenly, politicians had to find a way to appeal to women voters. When women finally showed up to vote in the 1920 election, the Cincinnati Post expressed some amazement that few women were confused by the voting process, but acknowledged, quote, "Contrary to fears formerly expressed by anxious politicians, woman suffrage did not ruin one home Tuesday or even spoil a meal."
All right, love it. All right, coming up here on Cincy Lifestyle, we take you inside the oldest standing brick house. Clyde, no, it's not me. You know, it's called the Betts House, and it's a true piece of American history. We'll tell you more about how they've preserved the house and their hopes for the future. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Well, did you know that the oldest standing brick house in our area is in Cincinnati's West End? The Betts House symbolizes the importance of preserving our heritage. And this is just a small piece of what makes Cincinnati special. Take a look.
Welcome to the Betts House. We are the oldest brick house in Ohio, built in 1804 by William and Phoebe Betts. Betts House is owned and operated by the National Society of the Colonial Dames in the state of Ohio. So we are their state headquarters. And right now we are in one of the two oldest rooms in the house. This is our 1804 downstairs room. So this essentially would have been a living room, a kitchen, anything you can think of. The house stood on 111 acres of land. So essentially it was a freestanding 2-room farmhouse, and there was a ladder that went up from this room to our upstairs room, which served as a bedroom for all 16 of the Betts family members that lived here when they built the house in 1804. And the only reason that this neighborhood was preserved was because the Betts-Longworth Historic District was formed, and now we have kind of this really nice little nook of historic properties, and it just takes you back. So you walk through this neighborhood and you get this feel of what Cincinnati actually would have been like. But we do know that the Betts did make the bricks that went into building this house. So they built it themselves, and then it's believed that the 1810 edition, they would have made those bricks as well, because they were still, owning and operating that brick making facility at that time. As you walk through the house, your tour guide will show you and tell you the different aspects of the history of the family through the years, and a lot of that was the additions. So there's additions from 1810, from 1864, and it just kind of tells a story of how the house had to change and develop as the family grew and as their needs changed. The future is pretty big for us, so we're working on developing a brand new permanent exhibition for the house. Right now we have History at Home, which you might be able to see in the background, which has been around for a while. We're also working on a garden revitalization project, so we're gonna have what we hope will be a more accurate depiction of what a 19th century garden would look like, incorporating native plants, herbs, and things like that. And then we're also looking into additional educational programs and events that we're gonna host here. So we're looking into kind of stepping it up a bit and having more things for the public.
Fascinating. It never ceases to amaze me how many famous faces got their start right here in the Cincinnati area. We scoured, in fact, a long list of notable names, and here's some that we found. Let's start with one you might not expect. Social activist and anti-war firebrand Jerry Rubin. Rubin graduated from Walnut Hills High School in 1964. The college dropout led his first demonstration against a grocer who refused to hire African-American employees. From there, Rubin helped lead anti-Vietnam War protests, formed the Yippies movement, and helped organize what became a violent protest at the 1968 Democratic Convention in Chicago. Bizarrely, in the mid-70s, the revolutionary became a stockbroker. Complicated to the end, Rubin died of a heart attack in Los Angeles after a car hit him while jaywalking. Okay, here's another one. Robert Edward Ted Turner, born in Cincinnati in 1938, the son of a billboard magnate of the same name. Turner founded CNN and the superstation WTBS. At the age of 9, his family moved to Savannah, Georgia. Turner attended Brown University, where he indulged his love of sailing. Turner used his inherited advertising business to buy his first radio stations. Then, in the late 60s, bought his first TV station. By the late 70s, he'd created CNN, changed the media landscape, and the rest is history. Science, anyone? Next time your allergies get you down, you might want to think more kindly of the inventor of the antihistamine drug Benadryl. George Revachol was a professor of chemical engineering at UC who led a team of student researchers, one of whom synthesized diphenhydramine in 1943. Revachol tested the compound, then got it patented. Later, working with Park Davis, he developed a similar drug. George Revachol donated millions to the University of Cincinnati, which thanked him by naming one of its buildings, Revachol Hall, in his honor. To Hollywood now, and the queen of the vamps, Theda Bara, born Theodosia Goodman in Avondale in July of 1885. Goodman graduated from Walnut Hills High School, attended UC before moving to New York, where she got her start on Broadway. Bara made the leap to film, but reached her zenith after moving to Los Angeles. She starred as Cleopatra and Salome, two sultry women, and came to symbolize the irresistibly seductive vamp. "I have the face of a vampire," she once said, "but the heart of a feminist." But the vamp role limited her appeal, and by the early 20s, her career was practically over.
Well, that's great. Couple of Walnut Hills graduates, I see. Well, we'll be back with more Cincy Lifestyle on the other side of the break. Plus, be sure to check us out on Instagram. We post all kinds of behind-the-scenes pictures there from right here in the set and while we're safely out in the community. So follow us on Instagram at Cincy Lifestyle.
Well, Mona, we had a quick look at some murals there. I tell you what, it is just fun to see what people do with some of the buildings in our community and how they make that art work.
You know what? Artworks is such a great organization, and we love them for making our community so beautiful. And Clyde, I just want to give you a little shout out because you shoot a lot of these and edit them, and people may not know how versatile you are and all your skills.
I think they know how underserved I am in some of the skills related to being a videographer, but I appreciate that, Mona. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Well, let's take a quick look ahead. Coming up tomorrow here on Cincy Lifestyle, a local library is expanding its services. We're going to talk to the director of the Campbell County Public Library about how they are helping readers get the books they need during these unique times.
And then we go around the block. Another one that Clyde shoots. I just love it. He shoots and edits those. But we're going to learn tomorrow about an older community, Marymount. We'll tell you more about the woman this neighborhood was named after and highlight some sites to see. All that, so much more happening tomorrow on Cincy Lifestyle. And Clyde, you know what? When I was younger, we pronounced it Marymount. And so I was way into adulthood when someone corrected us and said, hey, it's Marymount.
Yeah, that's true. And by the way, Allie helped shoot that as well. So she did a great job.
We have a great team. And that's Cincy Lifestyle for Thursday, May 14th. And remember, give us a shout out. We love hearing from you. So thank you so much for watching. We'll be here tomorrow. Join us. In the meantime, make it a great day.
Thanks for watching our video, and if you liked what you saw, hit the subscribe button. You can also check out full episodes of the show you've never seen before, or watch your favorites again and again. And as always, we love to say it, make it a great day.